I get to work on today? Oh, maybe 66 today. This thing's beautiful, man. I want to say a heartfelt thank you to all my subscribers and everybody that posted comments on my last video. I was warned. I just can't believe the outpouring and support that I have from you guys. It's just amazing. I've only heard from 2 people from my place of employment. I was there for 7 years, you know. Supposedly touched a lot of people. Only heard from 2. And they were just short little, whatever. You guys, what can I say? What can I say? Thank you so much. I read each and every one of your comments. I just have not had the time to post replies. So this is just a blanket thank you to all you guys out there. I was going to close the video down, you know, run it for a week. The idea was to let the powers to be see it and whatever, just for my own personal whatever. But I don't know, even today I got another really nice comment, and so maybe I'll leave it up for another week or whatever. But once again, yeah, I just thank you so much for all you guys just loving all over me. This is great, just great. I've been working on the house, so we've got to speed the time frame up for a move. So I've been working on the house, sold some more vehicles. I sold the 55 Ford. I've got a guy really interested in the Cuda, and so hopefully I'll be able to maybe make another couple, 3 videos before I hear from him again. I don't know. We'll see. You know how that goes. But I've had some work here at the house, so I've been you know, making the bills, so that's cool. It's all good. I just don't have benefits, so hopefully, you know, I'll kick in for that really cool Obamacare. You know, the old Affordable Health Care Act that's going to cost everybody 10 times more than, you know, whatever. But okay, 66 Chevelle, and had a drivability issue. Ran like crap in the morning. It took forever to warm up. I tuned this car probably 6 years ago, and he brought it to me. He says, "Man, ever since you worked on it, it's never run that good. Now it runs like crap. I've had several people look at it, and what a mess, man." So let me walk you through what I'm doing with this thing today, because I got to get it finished up. And shout out to Corey Moore. We were texting just a few minutes ago, and I was at lunch. I was working down a double burger, so we were chit-chatting there at the restaurant. So Corey Moore, huge shout out. And this guy here, Max, I don't know if you can see him. I don't know if he's in the camera shot or not. Bit of sad news. Him and Spunky got into a little, I don't want to say fisticuff, but maybe it was a jowl to teeth, and Spunky really got tore up pretty bad. It was Spunky's fault though, because he always starts crap. Old Max, he'll finish it, and so we had to put Spunky down because he suffered some pretty bad injuries. So we're down to the one pup, Maximilian here, and so there you have it. So let's take a look at this Chevelle. Let's see what we got going on. So he has fun with his things. He takes it to car shows and whatnot. The timing was off. The choke was disconnected. The vacuum advance diaphragm was ruptured. The vacuum advance hose was split. The dwell was off. The point gap was off. The dwell was all off. Timing was off. Carburetor was off. So it ran like crap. So got a new vacuum advance unit on there, new hose, all the adjustments made. So the thing runs like a red striped 8 now. The vacuum advance diaphragm there doesn't look to be that old, but you know how to test these? You suck on them. It's a real simple test. And then he was concerned about the brakes were pulling to the right. So I said, well, farmer boys. Well, let me check into it. So over here, the problem was that this self-adjuster looks like he'd had some brake work done because the shoes are new, wheel cylinders are new. They didn't take the hubs off though. They put the brakes on around the hub and bearing, so those weren't touched. So that's an issue there. But the problem was that this self-adjuster wasn't working because this spring was on backwards. I don't know if you can see it or not. Anyway, it was binding the self-adjuster, plus the self-adjuster had no grease on it. So we're going to get that straightened out so then the brakes will work again. And this particular one, the drums come off of the hubs. Here are the hubs. The hubbas. The drums just fit on there just like on the rears. The drums just pop right on the old Chevys like that, so that's pretty cool. But whoever did the brakes, they just left the hubs on there, and of course the bearings were dried up. Seals were bad. In fact, one of the bearings had come apart when I took it apart. Bearings everywhere. So I got new seals right there. Got new bearing, inner bearing, got everything all cleaned up. This side was assembled correctly, but the star adjuster didn't have any grease on it, so it wouldn't really turn all that great. So the adjuster was working on this side, but the driver's side was not working. So this brake was working before the driver's side, so that's why you're getting a pull out of it. Polski. A Polski. Alright? So there you have it. So we're gonna have to change this bearing out. I guess I could show you how to do that, huh? Guess we could show you how to do that. Sure, why not? Let's come over here to the bearing department. And where can I put my camera? Set my camera right here. Right there. So we're going to work on this hubski. And we're going to drive out the race. This is the replacement bearing here. I'm kind of back in my element now, working on cars, which is where I like to be. And surprisingly enough, I'm really calm now that the load has been lifted from my shoulders. So it was actually a blessing that I bailed. It was a long time coming, but it actually turned out to be the best. So let me grab a punch. Let me grab a punch. Punch and a hammer. I need a hammer. A hammer. Alright. Okay. Another thing, I've been getting a lot of blowback from YouTube playing music. Okay, I don't know if, well, you're probably not going to be able to see this or not. Right in here. On the early ones, there's like a little notch in the casting itself that you can get back behind the bearing race. There's one here at the bottom, one at the top, and then there's both inner and outer. So you can use that to help drive the race out. And how you do that is you just get your punch, flat punch, and just give her a smackaroonie. Smackaroonie. Smackarootsky. Better secure here. There we go. Just work it back and forth. Walk it back and forth and you'll drive it out. You'll drive her. She's coming. She's coming. She's coming. I probably should have dressed down my punch before I started doing this. Couple more taps. She's gonna hit the ground. And I'll show you how to put a new one in. There you go. There you have it. I'm taking wipe the grease off because I'm actually going to use that as an installation tool. Insulation tool. Alright, we'll flip her over and we will open up our vise. There you go. I'm not going to squeeze it. I don't want to squeeze it. And you want to feel around inside, make sure you don't have any burrs in there. You might have nicked it driving the old one out. Then you want to start your new one, lay your new one in there like that. And you can take your punch like such. You see that alright? Lay your punch across her like that. Give her a smackaroonie. Now you see the problem is, you can't go any farther because you're hitting the hub. You're hitting the hubba. So now what? You don't want to take your punch and drive it in this way because you run the risk of nicking the bearing race itself. So we will use the old bearing race as an installation tool. Lay it on top of there like that. Stack it on top, just like it came out. And when you do that, you'll have the lip on the inside to drive this one back out. And I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. So anyway, get it on there square. Okie dokie. Put your punch-a-rooney back on there. Give her a crack. Plug it back and forth. I suppose you could do this with a press, but some of you guys don't have a press. Alright, so are we in all the way? I don't think it's seated completely, so we will, now we can drive it in this way and go all the way around. See, like that? Then if you mar this one up, it's no problem. It'll protect the new one. So you're actually going to be pounding on the old race. Just go all around with it, and you'll feel when it hits when you bottom it, because the whole hub wants to bounce. So it's nice and solid, so it's all the way in. Just go around a couple times. Make sure she's seated evenly. Like that. So we are good to go. And you can look from the inside and see if it's seated in there. And she is. Now we will turn it back over and make sure that you catch the old race. There you go. There's your installation tool. There you have it. The new inner race. Done deal. Now, don't throw this away, because you can use those to pour your lead ingots or whatever you want to make, your Zamac ingots. So I've got a few of the inner bearing races. To make smaller ones, you can make bigger ones. So they make good little molds for making your little ingots. So it's like multiple tips. It's a multiple tip. Alright. Let's install this bad boy. Bad boy! This should have pack a wheel bearing. If I don't run out of memory card, I'm gonna get my my little trolley here. Get this set up. Stand by. There you go. All right. So now we are going to need some grease. Some geese. I like to use a red eye stay lube. Red eye, waterproof, high temp, extreme pressure. A spatula, putty knife, scraper, putty chingaderas is good for doing this kind of work. I like to pack the hub with the grease. Keeps the moisture out. And it keeps the grease companies in business. You know, big oil. You gotta keep big oil. Gotta keep big oil going. So, yeah, yeah. Pack your hub. Man, the grease I pulled out of this was nasty. Nasty. Okay, don't be shy with the grease. Be shy. Make sure you have plenty of towels because it's a messy job. Now this is an old school car. A lot of the a lot of the new cars have what's called green bearings, and they're all sealed. The hub, bearing, everything. You can't pack them. You can't do anything. You just replace the whole hub and bearing assembly. This is old school, so you got to hand pack the bearings. And maybe whoever was working on it maybe thought they were green bearings or something, didn't bother messing with the bearings. Take the palm of your hand, geese it up, geese it good. Take your bearing, palm of your hand all the way around like that, scooping up the grease. Okay? That's how you geese them. You want to get all the grease in the barrels, all the little the roller bearings there. Okay, and you can see it starting to scooch out. Turn the bearing over. Do the other side. You want to get the grease packed in there. That's why they call it packing a bearing. It is a messy, nasty job. But this, I must say, this grease is a lot easier to work with, nicer to work with than the old stuff. And when you're done, working in all around all the nooks, make sure it's packed full. I have a bearing packer, but I'd have to clean it all out, change grease, and I don't want to do that right now. And just lay it in there. Lay it in there. I like to scrape the extra grease out of the seal area. Yuccamundo. Max, this is horrible stuff. Just don't you eat in the grease. And Max, he's on his fourth baby possum. He doesn't like varmints. Any invaders in the yard, he takes them out. So, 4 little baby possums in the last couple days he's gotten. Now for the seal. Uh-oh, I don't have a... I do not have a... This is kind of one of those universal seals. Old school Chevy type stuff. This one can go in either way. But normally you would want the seal chamfer to go inward to keep the grease inside the hub. I don't have a hammer. What can I use for a hammer? How about my ratchet or socket? It's totally hillbilly here. Well, I'm gonna need a hammer. You're gonna have to stand by because just like the little car shop, it's no different out here in the big car shop. I'm not prepared. I'll be right back. Hammer, hammer, hammer. I need a hammer. I need a hammer. I need a hammer. Hammer, 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 hammer. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Come on, you little bugger. Some of these things fit pretty tight. You gotta get them in just right, otherwise they won't go. Okay. Get the seal in. You want to take some grease and grease up the seal. Because I cleaned the spindle off real good. And the seal won't last long if it's run dry on that bare metal spindle. Okay. Now we're going to put some grease in the outer race. Like that. Okay. Then you go ahead and stab that bad boy in there like that. Bad boy. Alright. Now we're going to do the outer bearing. Same greasy process. So you're hydraulically forcing the grease into the rollers. This old school stuff back in the day. That's how Henry Ford used to do it. You know what I mean? Here you go. There's a lot of grease on the outside of that little pup. There you go. Man, I hate working with grease. Scrape the excess off there. Put her back in our chub. I need another rag, man. You'll probably go through like, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 rags doing just one side. Alright. Now we need our connect. Oh, and I noticed I forgot something else too. I gotta get my tools from the other side and a cotter pin. Please stand by. Please stand by. Okay, I found my cotter pins. Max didn't need them. It's usually good to have a good supply of cotter pins. I've had this supply for quite some time. 2 more tools you'll need. Channel locks, a pair of side cutters. I use the channel locks to remove and tighten the spindle nut. This one has got a burr on the end of it, so it shouldn't be this tight to go on. I could probably file it, but I'm not going to. They have thread files that you can repair these threads. Anybody notice how I screwed up? Oh! Yes, I screwed up. Can you believe it? The poochman? The poochman screwed up? He did. did. He did. He screwed up. Come on. Guess what I forgot? Staring me right in the face, and I forgot it. Very important. The washer. See the tooth on that washer? It lines up with a groove in the spindle. Now, had I put just the nut on without the washer, high likelihood that the nut would have backed off and the whole hub, drum, wheel, everything would have come off the car. Not good. So make sure you put that washer on there. Make sure the little tang is on there. Sometimes the tang gets broken off. It has to have the tang. That keeps the nut from turning. Yeah, boy! Okay, there we go. Now when you're tightening the wheel bearing, I just kind of do it by feel. It's called setting the preload. Kind of like over tighten it, back it off. Over tighten it, back it off. You can do this with a wrench too, but I just like to control with the better control with the pliers. Do it several times to help seat that new race you put in there. Okay. Now you want to find your cotter pin hole. I'm going to snug it up just a little bit. Oh, it's nice and snug now. Before it was like making all kinds of racket. Alright. Normally, there are 2 holes that go through the spindle. Here's one. And the other one's over here. So right here, it's just a little bit, it has no preload. If I come over here to this one, it's got just enough preload, and we'll use the other hole. Like that. Come on, get in there. Like that. Now I like to take my cotter pins, flip one end up like that. This one's actually too long, but it'll work. And just cut the bottom off. Never had a bit of trouble in the 35 years I've been doing this. Doing it just that way. All that's left is the grease cap. You can pack it with grease if you want. I usually don't. Sometimes if you put too much grease, the hydraulic pressure will pop that cap off, so that's why I don't. Okay? There you have it. There you have it. Wipe the excess off. Otherwise it'll throw it all over the wheel, inside the wheel, and make a big mess. And this has some really nice 5-spoke American mags on it. These are the original mags. These mags were purchased for this car in 1968, and he just had them taken off and repolished. They look fantastic. They look brand new. They did a real nice job fixing this car up. So there you have it. There you have it. Let's put the wheel back on. I'll show you how we do that. Put the drum ski on it. But before that, I'm going to adjust my brakes. So I'm going to turn my star wheel until I get her fitting nice and snug. Go some more. I think I can go some more. What do you think, Max? 3 more twists. No more. 3 more twists. It's kind of by feel. It has a slot for the brake spoon, but the new drum on the other side, I don't think it has a provision for this. Because when they were new, you could knock these out. But I don't even think that has a knockout on it. So I'm going to have to do it like this on the other side anyway. There we go. Perfect. I like to take and put a little grease on my studs. You guys back east would probably appreciate this. The salt water and all that. Sometimes getting these things off that are rusted are real bare. Okay, let's put the wheel back on it. Look at that wheel, ain't she a beauty? Let me get my my other grease dealing bobber. Stand by. Entertain him, Max. Okay. Mag wheels that have these collared nuts. Real good idea. Grease up the holes. This keeps the collars from binding in the rim itself, in the lug hole. Okay. This was not done. And it was kind of a bear to get these off, because a lot of times the lug nuts want to just like seize themselves in the rim. Another thing, do not use air impact tools on these rims, either taking them off or putting them on. Very bad idea. Okay. Make sure you use your washers on your nuts. Washers on the nuts. And you could use both your feet to lift the wheel in position. Like such. Once you get one started, you're usually golden. Just roll it around, make sure everything lines up. Use your socket if you have to. If and you have to. Alright. So I usually don't like aftermarket wheels just for the simple fact that you got to go through this extra step. But they sure do look cool. They sure do look cool. I was going to try to talk this guy into painting these drums, because they're just the, you know, the rusty old metal. But I haven't convinced him yet. And if you don't have one of these ratchets, you're missing out. Because it doubles as a speed wrench. It doubles as a speed wrench. Now one of these studs, a couple of these studs were kind of pretty rough. I don't know whether somebody marred it or what, but get them all snugged up. Right, Max? Snug them up. Snug as a bug in a rug. And hopefully I'm going to be getting to the next episode of the Cuda Boy project. And I don't like the feel of that. But it is going rather smoothly. I'm not going to worry about it. Alright, there you go. I'll come back later with a torque wrench and torque these down. But you do not want to use impact wrenches on these kind of wheels, because this hub back here where it bolts, it's hollow. You'll actually crush this metal piece and actually pinch the lug nut in there. You create all kinds of a horrible nightmare if you're using an impact wrench on this. Don't even think about it. Do it all by hand tools. So there you go. There you go. I'll give you a little walk around. I'll sign off. But this sure is a sweet car, man. She sure is a sweetie. She sure is a sweetie. Some Malibu. This car was bought brand new. I think he said his wife bought it. Paid $2,800 for this car. One owner. Pretty dope. Pretty dope. Interior's all done up. The clock there. There you go. There you go. And there you have it. There you have it. Another episode of the Crazy Man Workshop in the bag. We'll be seeing you now. Bye-bye.